Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Gimmick. I am Laurence Cartier. We are back live. It is Thanksgiving weekend right here in beautiful Canada. I hope everyone in Canada is having a good Thanksgiving, good restful Thanksgiving, maybe seeing family, eating some food, and watching some wrestling. So it is a packed weekend. We got TNA tonight. We had Crown Jewel last night. I'm just going to, pick up my Rio that fell over. But yeah, hope everyone's having a good day, a great weekend. Happy National Gumbo Day, Zach. Hope you're having a great day. Buenos dias, Fernando. Hope you're having a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed Crown Jewel. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about today my full review. I'm going to try to keep it light on spoilers of season 2 of Peacemaker, because I greatly enjoyed that show and I've been wanting to talk about it for a little bit. And honestly, I'll brush over the sort of like what is now the controversial season finale of the show. But yeah, we yesterday morning or afternoon or evening, it was weird because it was one of those times they put it's sort of like what the UFC does too, is they sort of punish the home crowd a little bit. And that show started late in Australia. I think it started like 11 p.m. their time, Crown Jewel, and finished at like 2 a.m. It seemed a little unfair to them that they didn't start earlier because they wanted to start it a little later for the Eastern crowd, like here in the States and Canada. So it started at 8 a.m. here instead of the usual 5 a.m., which wasn't too bad. I could honestly wake up for a 5 a.m. show. 8 a.m. was nice though. It was nice. Wake up, grab breakfast. Let's get it. And we had a pretty fun show. It was a pretty fun WWE show throughout, I would say. We can start with the opening contest. The show opened up with Roman Reigns versus the hometown boy, who, to his credit and how good heel work he's doing right now, Bronson Reed, who was booed out of the building, against Roman Reigns in an Australian street fight. Now, my feeling with this match is it was a little bit underwhelming, I would say. Like, WWE street fights are like very, very, very PG. Like, they lean on the slapstick stuff a little bit. And like the spot gags of like the different items from that country. Like they had the cricket bat and the footy ball. It was actually, they called it rugby, but it was an Australian rules football ball. Go Adelaide Crows. Shout out former contributor and current owner of the Hive, Mr. Robinson. But yeah, they brought out like those sort of like hallmark weapons. It's like every street fight. You've seen one WWE street fight. A lot of times you've seen the vast majority of them because it's the same ones that go on house shows. Like they brought out, like, you're always going to see a kendo stick and a table and a trash can. Although I did enjoy that the crowd was having fun with some of the weapons, especially the stop sign, where they were chanting "read the sign" over and over again. That was fun. But yeah, this match, for like the majority of it, was kind of meh for me. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. We had Bronson Reed getting the win in what could still be seen as a massive upset. He is on a short list of people who have pinned Roman Reigns one-on-one. So I'm happy for him that he gets a big, like, career-affirming win in WWE, as far as WWE goes. Because this is a man who has also pinned Okada. Let's not forget. But as far as WWE goes, this was a massive win for Bronson Reed, even though it did take Braun Breaker interfering, putting Roman through a table, and the Usos coming out to defend Roman. Oh, I 100% agree. We're going to get on to the other matches. But yes, this was a very enjoyable show, WWE show. But yeah, you had the Usos come out to try to bust up the two Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, and like they do their they start spamming super kicks. Eventually, looks like Roman's about to put Bronson Reed through the table, and whoops, there goes a spear, an inadvertent spear, and Jey Uso spears Roman through the table, costing him the match. After another tsunami that was shortly followed up, and the world's most dramatic family continues. Everything, it becomes a thing with this family. Everything, just the most melodramatic family in the world. And a feeling we've all had about some of our family members. Roman told them, "I will see you at Christmas. I don't want to see you till Christmas," which is a sentence we've all either said out loud or felt about some of our family members, that we will not talk to them until Christmas. We'll see you there. I love you. I won't talk to you to Christmas. Which Xavier Woods pointed out, like, they're mad at each other. They're not going to talk during Thanksgiving. They're not seeing each other during American Thanksgiving. But yeah, I agree. Bronson Reed was the right winner. Roman didn't need the win. Roman is also like has openly talked about like transitioning out to Hollywood full time over the next few years. So as little as we see of him, we're going to see less and less of him. So yeah, him starting to put over other talent and using the fact that he doesn't get pinned much one-on-one, it makes that win mean something. Oh yes, we are in the extra innings. Shout out to the Mariners, who will be playing the Blue Jays. Look at that, rocking my Blue Jays cap like a good Canadian. Later today, the Mariners, who won a game in 15 innings just the other night on Friday night. It was Friday night leading into Saturday morning. I think it finished at like almost exactly a little past 1 a.m. that game. At least Eastern Standard Time. That game finished at 1 a.m. But yeah, they will be facing the Jays in a few hours at 8 p.m. this evening. Very excited about that baseball game. But yes, the Bloodline is in the 10th inning. They're in extra innings at this point. Still trying to figure it out. At some point, like they've like mentioned it multiple times that he doesn't change. I think at some point there has to be some character growth or something there that makes Roman finally apologize to his cousins for what he's done and the continued emotional torment that dude does. Because it's until he does, it's never going to work out between them. And they're going to continue to make these stupid mistakes and eventually cost each other championships and matches. And I honestly wonder what they're doing with Jay and Jimmy, because like they finally brought them both back together just to break them up again at the end of the show. Yes, Jimmy's the Tito Jackson of the Bloodline. That's a very good line. But yes, it is like it's weird that they just put the Usos back together just to sort of break them up again, because Jimmy walked out on Jay walked out on Jimmy right after Roman walked out on them. So we will see where this goes. We've got another early Raw tomorrow at like at least 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow on Netflix. So that's going to be interesting where they go with this from here on out. But it's weird because I honestly think the Usos are better together. They're a better tag team together than they are individuals. I think they put on better matches as a tag team. So it's weird that they're once again breaking them up. And where Roman goes from here, probably we're definitely not seeing him till Survivor Series. Same thing with Cena. We're not seeing him till Survivor Series because he only has 4 more appearances left. We will get into that match soon enough too, as the real highlight of the show. Then after that match, we had Stephanie Vaquer defeating Tiffany Stratton for the Crown Jewel Championship. That you will see this one time. That is honestly, that title is bigger than most of the women in the locker room. That is a massive championship. That costs $100 billion to make. Apparently, it's all real diamonds. Only the rarest of gold and jewels in that championship. But Stephanie Vaquer, again, the right person won here. Although the little disappointing part of this match, it was the shortest match of the night by a long shot. This match was only 10 minutes and 5 seconds. The other matches were 21 minutes, 27 minutes, 19 minutes and 55 seconds, and 29 minutes and 40 seconds. So it was literally less than half as long as all the other matches on this card. I felt they could have given this match more time. Stephanie Vaquer, I think, was the white winner. I think it's also adds more to her in her early resume in WWE as well, for like somebody picking up a win over Tiffany Stratton, who has been unbeatable this year. So her picking up a win over Tiffany Stratton is huge. I think the main takeaway from this match was it was too short. They rushed through it. They clearly cut from this match. And it sucks a little bit that there's this short. They could have given it more. They could have taken a little bit off the street fight. I don't think it needed as much as it did. But here we are. It's always sort of like the women that pay for it. But yeah, I think Stephanie Vaquer is the right winner. I think it was a fun match, despite the short time they had to do it. But yeah, I think, again, the Crown Jewel Championship doesn't mean much. It's not so much as like people think of it as a title belt, like these two as a title belt. It's a trophy. It's like when winning the Carabao Cup in football or soccer. It's a one-time thing. You win a mini tournament or a thing that you get to either bragging rights for the right year or you keep the championship ring. So people think of it as like a title belt. You define it or it's more like a trophy that they get. So it's not something that really is defended. But yeah, I think Stephanie Vaquer was 100% the right winner here. They could have given this match more time on a whole. But that was followed up by what everyone is talking about. I've got to bust my notes out for this. We had John Cena defeating AJ Styles in a singles match, which was the absolute fan service which this John Cena run should have been. And there were a lot of references throughout this match. Like a lot of references. And I'm going to pull it up in a second. Here we go. Bang. So in total, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half different nods to different wrestlers. Also, this match was also built to reference their Royal Rumble match, because just like the Royal Rumble match that they had, they did not leave the ring once during this match. It was completely confined to the squared circle. Didn't go to ringside at all, just like their first Royal Rumble match together. AJ Styles coming out wearing his old school TNA gear. It's the first time in a while, and it's a little shocking to some people seeing AJ Styles' legs for the first time. He was wearing the short boys today. And that immediately set the tone of what this match was. I think this match was great. It was so much fun. It was literally what it needed to be. It was a lot of fun. And what this entire John Cena's final run should have been from the jump. It should have been a fan service. Like, I get the shock of a heel turn. I think the heel turn should have been a bit shorter. And it was hard to do, too, because of the limited time that they had him. Like, they only had so much time, so planning stuff around it, planning promos around stuff is hard to, like, turn him back face. I get the reasoning behind turning him heel and the shock of it, but, like, there was no follow-through with it. They had no other plans afterwards, really, after turning him heel, which was the main folly there. So it took away from the fact we could have been having this from the jump. Like, there are other wrestlers he could have wrestled other than having him. And you mentioned WrestlePalooza. I think the Brock Lesnar thing is probably, if it wasn't for the heel turn, the stupidest thing they've done in this final John Cena run. Like, the second time they've truly wasted is very limited time. Like, after this match, we only have 4 more. It's insane. There's like 2.5 months left in the year, but we're only having John Cena appear 4 more times, which I wish he would have added more throughout this year. At least more promos, and I wish he was at more Raws and SmackDowns and stuff for like the live crowds to at least see him. But we're only seeing him a few more times. He's going to be at Survivor Series. Then after Survivor Series, he's going to be at Saturday night's main event for his last match, which I have feelings about that, how they're doing that. And I called it the second they announced it was Washington. I knew what was going to happen and what it seems like it's going to happen. And it's going to make me very angry. But yeah, John Cena's throughout this match from the very jump, it quickly became John Cena and AJ Styles both taking time to reference both of their past opponents, because AJ Styles also before this match reiterated that next year is going to be his last year as well. Like he's going to be retiring sometime next year. We still don't know exactly when, but he's also wants to go home and be a family man full time, which he is fully deserved to. And like, it's another legend that like my generation grew up with, doing the right thing and stepping aside when he's still in good health. So yeah, AJ Styles reiterating during promotion this week that he will be retiring next year or in 2026. So it's really like a potential send off for both of them, because this might be the last time both of them are in Australia. So for this might be the last time the Australian crowd sees AJ Styles. So the fact that they both took time to fit in as many references to their past opponents, both in TNA and WWE, was very nice. Immediately, my heart was touched from John Cena writing an introduction for AJ Styles and surprising him with it in the ring. That was an absolutely beautiful touch on John Cena's part, because this is probably AJ Styles' last time in Australia, wrestling in Australia. So him taking some of the focus that was on him and putting on AJ Styles as well was a very nice touch. Calling him the boss, the undisputed boss of the Bullet Club, which is like one of the rare times they actually shout out the full name, the Bullet Club, on WWE television. The personification of total nonstop action. It was a very nice intro. Again, right off the bat, they set the tone of what this is going to be, and just like letting people know it's going to be a career retrospective and them doing the high notes. But you had AJ Styles hitting the Coquina clutch, giving a shout out to Samoa Joe. You had John Cena hitting the walls of Jericho, or the Lion Tamer, as a reference to Chris Jericho. You had John Cena, like they were doing back and forth submissions for a bit, where he referenced Rusev as well. There was reference to Christopher Daniels. The John Cena hit the skull crushing finale, and I think the most talked about one was the moment John Cena hit AJ Styles with the skull crushing finale, referencing the Miz, and it got the whole world emotional. And it truly, like, man, we really deserve, like, we don't appreciate the Miz enough. And he did some more that I think I forgot about. No. Really, the really crux of the emotional part is when he countered into Sister Abigail. And my favorite part of the Sister Abigail every time is the little kiss on the forehead that they do. And I'm so happy he did that as well. But yes, he hit Sister Abigail on AJ Styles. And then the moment afterwards, like about 10, 15 seconds afterwards, as the camera pans back out, you see that everyone in the crowd has the fireflies up, has their cameras on, their flashlights on. John Cena starts taking in the fact that the entire crowd is full of fireflies, and just the motion hitting his face this time of him being surprised in this match by something the crowd did. And just like him getting sort of willed up for a second and getting taken out of the match. Like, man, this is exactly it. This is why we do this. It's moments like this. It's just like, man, how truly beloved Bray Wyatt was once again. It was truly one of the best moments of this match, and like got a lot of people emotional, because like they have the emotion. It's insane that it feels somehow so long ago, but it's only been a few years that we lost Bray Wyatt, and we're still sort of dealing with the like sadness and trauma of it, and how deeply, deeply missed he is. So it was such a nice touch to include it in the match. I honestly, I thought that was the moment for me of this match, was hitting the Sister Abigail's kiss. But then they continued just spamming other people's finishers throughout the match, including Frankie Kazarian, Shawn Michaels, and Sting. And the half one was when John Cena teased doing a 619 on AJ Styles, which, sorry, John, you are a coward for not completing. If you're teasing it, you should have tried to hit it as best you can. So many people have failed doing that, and you should have added yourself to the list, bud. Or you could have hit it, and the place would have exploded. But you should have done it, John. You should have hit that 619. But yeah, all in all, a like perfect match for what it was supposed to be. It needed it's the type of thing this John Cena run should have been from the jump. And everyone was at the end of the day exactly what wrestling's supposed to do, and they were entertained. The crowd was hot for it. The crowd was great all night, by the way. I quite enjoyed this crowd. Australian crowd was really good. But yeah, it was probably the match of the night for a lot of people. Myself included, but yeah, great match. I was quite happy with it. It was the second longest match. Yeah, it was the second. It was at 27 minutes, 10 seconds. It was the second longest match behind only the main event. It was like right here. This is where like the next three matches were like the heart of the show, where they really hit their stride. Especially the next match, I really enjoyed, which again, a very tough spot, especially when these 5-match cards. Some matches you're going to get some of those hard spots, and to follow all that energy that AJ Styles and John Cena bring, like a lot of the times the crowd would be spent, and it took a little bit for the crowd to get fully back into this, but like having the next match being Io Sky and Rhea Ripley defeating the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane. This was a tough spot being sandwiched between the John Cena match and the main event. But like these ladies held their own. They absolutely killed it. Good morning, Goose. Hope you're all having well. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Sir, hope you're having a great day. Yeah, we're just breaking down Crown Jewel. Then I'm going to be talking about Peacemaker a little later. We'll be breaking down give my full review of season 2 and the sort of controversial finale. But yeah, I think both Io Sky, like the whole 4 of them did great. Like the way Asuka has been so great in this role of sort of like the mother to her 2 daughters. And this whole thing throughout is giving these same vibes of when a writer inside Disney would code a character to be gay in a time where you could not have a gay character, and it was like very obvious, and just like tell everyone, no, they're not in love, they're just friends. And that's the feeling you get between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Is Asuka the mother trying to keep her daughter away from the punk rock lesbian that she's in love with. And if WWE weren't cowards and weren't catering to the American administration, they would just full out and do it. But they are. I remember years ago where Stephanie McMahon, when they pretended to care, would be like, "Yeah, we're gonna have a gay storyline." Never happened, and they sort of like accidentally fell into one with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. But like all 4 of them have been great in this role. Asuka is great as the disapproving mother who feels betrayed. Kairi Sane is the sister who also is sort of betrayed but doesn't want to leave her mother's side. This was a very fun match. Like just watching, I could watch Asuka and Io Sky go back and forth, just like hitting the hell of each other all day. Like Asuka is one of the best in the world and one of the best to ever do it for a reason. And even at this point, just like her coming out and killing it every single time. Kairi Sane just being the one, like it makes sense for her to eat the pin because like it causes further division between Asuka and her because like Asuka's like do not lose, and she lost. Even though she lost because Kairi Sane saved Asuka from Rhea Ripley's boot. And eventually got hit with both their finishers for the 1, 2, 3. But yeah, this was a great match. They told a great story, having Io in there the entire time, basically taking a beating from both of them and trying to get back up and never quite making the tag to Rhea. And just, like it was a very well told story. I quite enjoying this, but like the whole thing is like I don't trust the originally like the writers at WWE because of who they are, a prominently white male room realized that they accidentally wrote a gay storyline, like giving Golden Lovers vibes with Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. But I'm happy they did, because it's one of the more interesting storylines they have going. And it like gives something for Rhea Ripley to do that's not surrounding the heavyweight championship for the time being. Like this was a fun story to tell. I greatly enjoyed this match. I felt like this is very much where the show picked up, like between the John Cena match, like the next 3 matches, like I said earlier, this is where the show really hit its stride. And like this one was just under 20 minutes at 19 minutes 55 seconds. And they did a great job with every minute they had in there. I really enjoyed this match. Now, time for our main event of Seth Rollins finally defeating Cody Rhodes and becoming the new WWE Crown Jewel Champion for 2025. I think this was clearly the only choice. I think they telegraphed this match completely, and it was for a reason. It's because they are showing what could fracture, what is going to be coming up. It's a great way to tease what's potentially coming up in the new year, like on the road to WrestleMania. I think at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins loses the title, and that's where the fractures start happening with the Vision. I think that's what this match was basically used for. At the end of the day, was to show that this isn't some solid group that has Cody's back and is completely behind him 100%. I'm going to try, like, talking about I'm going to try to keep it as spoiler free as possible. But I'm just going to give like an overview of the seasons and like the highlights, because the whole season was great. But I'm going to try to, as much as possible, keep it spoiler free, Goose. But yeah, I think that was the use of this match, was to start to show the fractures, the potential fault lines of the Vision, and like the breakdown, like, and to finally, it also helps cement the world heavyweight championship, and at least does a little bit to give it some prestige and make it seem a little less like it's the secondary title, that it's on even plane. So like both for the championship and for Seth Rollins, it made complete sense. It was the only thing that could happen, because Cody Rhodes really had nothing to gain from winning this match. Like, unless they were going to break up the Vision early, which I obviously thought they weren't. I think it's happening at Mania this year. Just like what happened, like the fractures in the bloodline happened at Mania. I think we see the same sort of things again. I think this was a fun match throughout. I think the fact that we have moved away from the overbooked main events of Bloodlines past, where Seth Rollins like kept his word and no one came and helped him the ringside. He still did cheat, though. He is still heel. He used the watch that Cody Rhodes gave him after WrestleMania to punch him in the face, and then curb stomp him twice, then hit him, curb stomp him, then super curb stomp him off the second rope to finish the match. My one thing that annoyed me about this match is Cody Rhodes has the least protected finisher in pro wrestling, especially when you're the main event face of the company and your finisher is basically, they shouldn't have, if he wasn't going to win with it, they shouldn't have had him do the avalanche crossroads off the top rope. Like, sometimes they say off the top rope when they're on the second rope or whatever, but they were both on the top rope. It looked amazing. Looked amazing. But if you're going to hit that, that has to be a 1, 2, 3. Like, I'm really a person who nitpicks this stuff, but that really like annoyed the hell out of me that he brought that out for this and it didn't finish. Like that finisher is like, it's funny because like in this match with Roman, or in the match where Roman was clowning him after Roman hit the crossroads on Cody, is like this match, this finisher is terrible. And like it never works. And like it's so true that his finisher is not protected. And like he has to spam it 3 times to win the match. It feels like almost 3 times consecutively he has to spam it. But yeah, the Avalanche Crossroads should have won that match. It's my like one nitpick of this match. Like if you're gonna do it or tease it, he should have like Seth should have countered it. But if you're gonna hit it, that has to be a 1, 2, 3. That move, that is your finisher from the top. That is literally, it would take 3 finishers in the WWE 2K game. It would be one of the ultimate finishers on there. And the fact it was just a 2 count. The fact that it was just a 2 count was ridiculous. Yeah, to a certain degree, I do agree, but like if it has to be used properly, because it does build tension near the end of match, especially with like big main event matches. But I did like Seth Rollins' desperation, and not just like him staring at camera getting angry, but him busting out stuff that he never does to try to beat Cody made sense to me. Like that's incredible. Like I honestly thought he might have actually injured himself on the diving coast to coast headbutt, which made no sense at all. But hitting that was absolutely insane. And like it made sense for the character in the story. Like it made sense that he was so desperate to beat him and getting so angry that like the stomp didn't work. Like I've got to do something here. That he hits a coast to coast diving headbutt, and like for a second when he was reaching for his shoulder, I'm like, oh man, I hope he didn't land on his shoulder or something and fuck himself up. But thankfully it looks like he's fine. But yeah, that was insane. It made perfect sense for the character. I quite enjoyed that his increased desperation, and like Cody kicking out of that like made sense to me. Yeah, I think my guess for like 2026 coming up is that right now, especially with how well he's doing with the US title open challenges, I think that they're using that to build up Sami Zayn as a worthwhile challenger while keeping him on another show and away from Seth. But I think Sami beats Seth for the title at WrestleMania, and like there the bloodline starts to break up because it is based on Seth being the champion and having a clear vision for everyone. I think that's where Paul starts to talk to probably Braun Breaker as like the next one up, and we see sort of like an evolution thing where one of them tries to beat Sami for the title throughout next year. But yeah, that all in all, a fun main event. I enjoy that they still found a way for him to cheat despite, and I like that they didn't overbook this like the Bloodline Pass, and that was just the two of them in the ring beating the hell out of each other for a little bit and spamming finishers. But yeah, the right person won here. I think it had to be Seth. I think it sets up the potential breakup of the Vision perfectly. And like I like that Seth went from like sort of shocked that he finally took this monkey off the back to being full dickhole Seth Rollins again. And I'm almost certain when Stephanie Becker in the ring, he probably said Becky deserves those titles over her. That's how she like looked back like, oh yeah, we could have a match sort of type deal when they're both in the ring. But yeah, the show closes with Stephanie Becker and Seth with the Crown Jewel Championship standing tall in the ring. All in all, I would say I go with like B+ show. I think this was fun. I think the beginning sort of dragged a little bit and like was sort of like the tame street fights that WWE does, like the formulaic tame street fight. But after that, it definitely picked up the last 3 matches. But yeah, all in all, a fun show to have breakfast to. Also on the docket today, something I've been very excited about, and that is season 2 of Peacemaker. If you haven't watched Peacemaker, I highly recommend you do, because this is honestly like some of John Cena's best work. Like, this is, I put it up there with like Robert Downey Jr. getting Iron Man is the way John Cena has been playing Peacemaker. It's like a character that fits him like a glove. And especially this year, what they've done with this character is so smart. Basically, for those who don't know, this season starts off with sort of like the blowback of last season, where the 17th Street kids, 16th Street kids, let me make sure I have the right notes, but basically Peacemaker and all his friends, sort of like everyone sort of scattered after what happened last season. Like Economos is back with Argus. You have Hardcourt, who's trying to get a job anywhere in like clandestine work, either the CIA, Argus, FBI, but she's being blackballed because of what ads did of like outing all the stuff that Argus has been doing. And the new head of Argus is Rick Flag Sr., the father of Rick Flag, who Peacemaker killed in the Suicide Squad. So he has been finding a way to sort of like low-key, he's trying to find a way to get revenge on Peacemaker. And it's sort of been cracking down on him and looking for a way to basically lock him up or kill him. Like, you're trying to figure out, like, is he going to kill Peacemaker? How is he going to get him? And throughout the season, you find out, and as we saw last season, that we learn more about the interdimensional portal that Peacemaker has in his father's house. And you find out early on that it was acquired when they were his brother and his father, when they were kids, when they went on a hunting trip, and his father shot an alien, and the alien had the portal with them. It's sort of like in a briefcase sort of thing. And they killed the alien and stole the briefcase, and eventually figured out how to open the portal. And they've had the portal ever since. Like, it wasn't his father who was a genius. And Peacemaker makes the mistake one night when he's drunk and sad to stumble into the portal again. Or initially he chases after Eagly when he lets Legally out into the interdimensional gray area, because instead of letting Eagly out outside. And they go in, and eventually he walks in to a door that looks exactly like his, and it's basically an alternate universe of his that he walks into, where his father and brother are still alive, and the 3 of them are hailed as heroes. And it's sort of like he starts having, like, the season is really adds a lot of depth for John Cena to do, because he has to deal with he's still dealing with the trauma of killing his father in the last season. And he's still dealing with like a lot of trauma, like having to kill his father last season, and like him seeing this almost idyllic life of his, that what could have been, and like him and Hardcourt sort of not ignoring him and sort of putting down his advances is like hurting him, even though like he has like truly fallen in love with her. And like in this other world, Hardcourt, he actually was able to date Hardcourt, and they had a like nice relationship. Like everything he wanted was in this other universe, and like like our world, in his world, everything was so sad. And at the same time, Argus is trying to crack down on him, trying to arrest him because they can tell that after the events of Superman, that somebody's using an interdimensional portal. They can detect it, so they're trying to crack down on him and trying to take the portal, which you're not sure why they want the portal so bad, but they're trying to crack down on him, and it leads to them like it eventually leads to his character trying to decide which world to stay in. And I was trying to say John Cena does probably his best acting job throughout the season. The whole cast does. The whole cast is so good. Like they hit the obvious comedy elements so well throughout the series, like effortlessly. But like when it comes time to do the like dramatic things and having to deal with like the depth of their characters and like the different traumas they're all experiencing, they do it so well. There is a scene in here when John Cena's in the other universe and he's just getting re-traumatized again, and you see it on his face and it like fully breaks him. It's the most heartbreaking thing. And like it was like, oh man, John Cena is legitimately a talented actor. Like he has the comedy thing down pat, but the fact this character is like give him a chance to stretch more dramatic thing too as well. Like in this silly show was amazing. Like there's a scene there. I don't want to give it away, but there is a scene that actually gets like it's getting memed a lot online, where John Cena sort of like the thing of like, oh man, this is happening to me again, and it like fully breaks him is amazing. I think like trying to think what the best episode of the season was. Like the episodes are short. I think the only one that's an hour is the season finale, which we're going to talk about in a second. I think the other MVP of the series is Daniel Brooks, who gives a speech in the season finale that's amazing. Like throughout, is quite good. I think Frank Grillo, who plays Rick Flag Sr., is great in this as well. I think people are angry because they did tease like well, we can just get into like I'm not gonna spoil much about the finale, but the main people were disappointed with the finale is because they were expecting more. They like it doesn't have like a big conclusion. Like a lot is left open after this finale, and also like I think people were expecting big cameos throughout when there just aren't any. Like and also like James Gunn didn't do a great job of tempering expectations going into this episode. I think he ended up accidentally taking away from the finale by hyping it up too much. Be like, it's absolutely crazy what happens. The craziest episode we've done. And it's not what like you think it's going to be. It's not going to be like a cameo fest. It is very sort of honestly grounded and kept to the main characters as they're trying to figure things out of what happens next. But it does, and a little like it. The last two episodes of the season fully do mold, like cement Peacemaker in that Superman universe, and like we're gonna see, and James Gunn has said that this is gonna have ramifications for the next Superman movie, which is clearly what they're setting up, or at least what's next for this. Because he also said there is, at least for the time being, there is no plans for season 3. Which how this ends is the most infuriating thing for me, because it does end on a cliffhanger. Although he does say we'll see Peacemaker in the in the DCEU. But yeah, like like the sort of like weighted expectation of this is what helped why it's getting bad reviews, because like the whole like the season finale all in all is great. Like I was expecting it to be bad because like when I was at work I'm like, wow, no one's liking this, what's going on. I think it's one of the most well acted episodes of the season from the entire cast. Like Daniel Brooks as Adebayo is amazing. Freddie Stroma as Vigilante or Adrian Chase is absolutely great throughout. And Jennifer Holland, who does a great job as Hardcourt. Like Steve Agee also like has a nice like emotional moment with Eagly near the end of the episode, which like they've been like low key setting up in the back, which is like a lot of people were clowning like last episode, like why are they doing this scene with Eagly and Economos? And it sets up a nice moment between the two of them. I think Tim Meadows' character, I think adding him to the cast this year has been great. I think he's like super funny, and the dude who has who they literally set up as having bird blindness, which is a great joke throughout for like the first few episodes, where he literally cannot tell the difference between birds. And like like and like the fact they also add a little bit of depth to his character, especially in the last episode. I think they also tease a potential recurring villain with David Dedman, who plays Peacemaker's brother in the alternate universe, Keith Smith, or Captain Triumph. I think he was great. Yeah, the whole, like, I highly recommend watching this whole second season, because you're going to hear people say the finale's bad. It isn't. It just wasn't what people expected the finale to be. And like a lot of the storylines are left like open. But also like they do deal with like very stuff we're dealing with now, like the open racism and like how being a white person sometimes you don't notice it as much. And like also like is the grass greener on the other side type thing. But yeah, like I highly recommend people check out Peacemaker, because I honestly think it's the best work John Cena's done. It's the most like complete work he's done so far. Like we've had in the last like little while, both The Rock and John Cena step up their acting game, which makes me very happy. Like I think Cena has been better than The Rock for the last little while as an actor. All in all, like I think he does the comedy stuff way better than The Rock does. But the fact this character has allowed him more like emotional depth really adds to like to his resume. And like I'm excited what Cena does next, what projects he picks next. And I hope he does, in not too long, he does a season 3 of Peacemaker. Because like I think the although he seems like he's going to be like advancing it in the movies and some of the TV projects they're doing, their stories, everyone's sort of left in like it's almost like up in the air what happens with the finale. But all in all, I think the things that like one of the other things of the finale that annoyed people was Michael Rooker's character as Reed St. Wild, who is the best eagle hunter in the world, who Argus hires to hunt Eagly. People just thought it was a character they used because James Gunn has to have Michael Rooker in everything he does. But I think it does actually add a storyline and add more backstory to Eagly at the end of the day. You find out a little more about Eagly at the end of the day with the Michael Rooker's Eagle Hunter. But that one, like people were annoyed that they teased Michael Rooker's character, that like they acted like it was going to be something big, but it wasn't. It was just his character didn't matter that much, although it added to Eagly's character at the end of the day. But all in all, if you haven't seen the first season, go out and watch it. That's a fun season. But the beginning of season 2 does redcon the end of season 1. It's been one scene in the end of season 1 to firmly set it in this Superman universe that we currently have, the James Gunn Superman universe. And like, I think again, it's very hard because like it's a lot of big names, a lot of like busy stars that are on this show, especially John Cena. Like, it's going to be hard to nail him down to do a third season. Like, even before he announced it, I'm like, man, I hope there's a third season here. But I truly hope that he does bring this back, and not just in the movies, that we get all of them back together again. But yeah, all in all, season 2, absolutely amazing. Like, it's better than season 1, I feel. Season 2 definitely everyone's game stepped up. The jokes are better, the drama's better, and it's one of the like best DC projects they've done, and one of the best like comic book TV shows out there, bar none. I think both season 1 and 2 complete, like they're if not they're definitely top 3, and like I would probably at this point put it at one of the best like comic book shows. I think he was like, I disagree. I think Rick Flag was always a villain because like you knew he was there to like kill Peacemaker. And again, like it was like the way to like I honestly like the finale. Like I was expecting it to be way worse. I'm like, no, the acting jokes are really good. The writing is really good here. It's just the ending was weird. And like how it looked like they're gonna like finally confront Rick Flag, and they just don't when they could have. Like that's a little weird because like I think they're sort of like hamstringing it to fit in the movies coming up like in a couple of years. But yeah, all in all, I truly love this show. It was honestly great. I think John Cena is doing his best work he's done in a while. And I'm like, especially as he's transitioning to Hollywood full time and leaving wrestling behind for good, I think this is like leaving a good, like, especially on a good note that he's doing this project last before he fully transitions to everything. Also, before we end the show, got to remind people, November 14th, Big Bad Boris, our own Big Bad Boris right here on Love Wrestling, is doing a 40-hour stream, which is absolutely insane. Probably a cry for help. But he's doing it to help raise money for men's mental health. And I'm going to have him talk about it a little bit right here.
I think I might be crazy for doing this. Starting November 14th for 40 hours straight, we'll be live streaming on Twitch for 40 hours to raise money for the Canadian Mental Health Association, specifically here in Edmonton. I wanted to help contribute and raise some money for the Canadian Mental Health Association. I'm looking to bring some awareness to the stigma of mental health, especially in men, that it's okay to be not okay. It's okay to talk about it. Doesn't make you any less of a man. But I also want to make it fun. We're gonna revisit a lot of the stuff that I've done on Saturday Night Love, Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling, on Wrestling Society X, Botchamania Roulette, some more Sporkle trivia. I'm super excited about this. I hope that everybody will take the time to tune in, even for a few minutes here and there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be long.
Yeah, he's going for 40 straight hours. If you can, we'll have the donation links up soon. Yeah, I'm not going to post the spoiler on there, but yeah, I think people were angrier when ads made the reference that it was not too different from our universe. And she was not wrong, because the same things happened to Black people in all white neighborhoods in the States that happened to her in the Nazi universe, in the, whoops, I said it. But yeah, and then the Universe X. Like the same sort of thing of like a person slowing down and staring at them. That happens all the time, or the police getting called on them. Which hopefully they do another season, because I want to explore. I want to see more what's happening there, because they've also teased other stuff about some other characters playing roles in that universe that I wanted to see. that they just didn't. Like this is one of those times I felt it could have been longer. I think the episode's going to be longer because he could have told more stories that he already had lined up that they just cut for time. But yeah, I agree with you. But yes, please, we're almost a month away from this 40-hour stream. You're going to see me pop up throughout. A lot of the different people here at Love Wrestling are going to be doing stuff, helping out Boris to give him a little bit of a break as he goes for 40 hours straight, starting November 14th, which is a Friday? Yeah, a Friday. So starting Friday into Saturday, for that entire weekend, he's going to be streaming. Not a great idea, but he's doing it for a good cause, and you're going to see all of us pop up on there. So if you can, we'll have the donation stuff up, as well as one of the biggest matches in LPW history, Stephen Crow versus Zoe Sager for the Unified Grand Championship. Zoe Sager, who is the real Grand Champion, and Stephen Crow, who is the current Grand Championship holder. They'll be going at it in a ladder match. I'm very excited for that. Yeah, it is like he's especially the thing with the portal at the end is going to lead to one of the main things in the Superman sequel, which I think comes out in 2 years. I think 2027. I feel like I think they start filming in the new year. Oh, okay, that's awesome, Fernando. And it's not 20, it's 40 hours. 24 hours is a lot. I did 12 hours earlier this year, and it physically hurt me to be in a chair for 12 hours. Like, I don't know how he's doing 40 hours, but we're going to help him out. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be having some fun playing games and all that. But that's for next month. As for me, you can follow me at CartCNDG on Instagram and Twitter and all the socials. And you'll catch me back next year as we'll talk TNA. We will talk AEW next week, as they both have big shows coming up. One of them tonight, which is the TNA show, which I have mixed feelings about. Hopefully, where is he? Hopefully, they let Santana win the title. Oh yeah. There's going to be trucks of energy drinks and coffee. Hopefully Santana wins the title tonight and they pull the trigger on that. And I hope to God the Dudley Boys don't become the NXT champions tonight. Oof. Their combined ages are over 200 years old and they're fighting over a developmental belt. God, that's weird. It somehow is both peak TNA and WWE at the same time, which is where this partnership is heading. But yes, follow me on all the shows as you catch me back here as they talk the follow that TNA show and AEW's big pay-per-view coming up. I want to thank you, Fernando, for hanging out with me, talking some Peacemaker. I want to thank Zach for popping in, wishing us a National Happy Gumbo Day. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. If you're here in Canada, hope you have a happy Thanksgiving for the rest of your weekend. And we'll be back here, same time, same place next week. Hope you have a good day. Bye.